personal question?
Yes.
Sure.
How many of you have ever had a fantasy? How many not? As a psychologist, I'm inclined to ask intrusive questions. I know what you're thinking. We're not talking today about that kind of fantasy. We're just talking about fantasies. You don't have to think about any of the ways that you enjoy the intimate sexual encounters. We're just talking about fantasy. As a Toastmaster, my job is to be the general MC for the day, for the meeting, to carry things along, to introduce people, introduce roles. And also, as that role, I get to choose a theme for the day, and I was pondering, thinking, wondering, what's the theme, and all these themes just sort of rolled through my mind. I toss them out, toss them out, toss them out. Finally, I just thought, fantasy. I just love fantasy. I enjoyed it since I was a little boy. I used to lie in bed just dreaming up imaginary worlds. And for me, a fantasy is just imagination unfettered. And it's one of the most amazing and powerful capacities I think we have as human beings. So this is our theme for the day, to just to fantasize a bit about fantasy. Oftentimes in my work, when people use the word fantasy, it has somewhat of a discounting feel to it. Like fantasy is something that has no actual place in the real world. And I don't necessarily really support that way of thinking about fantasy, but I think fantasies have a very important kind of energy, even if it's not exactly clear where our fantasies might fit in the life that we constructed so far. So this is the theme for the day, just to, in the back of our minds, to let our fantasies percolate a bit under that word. Now I'm going to introduce our various important functions and roles for the days, and the folks that are going to be taking part in completing those roles for us, starting with our grammarian, who is Kay. Kay, would you please